This is one of those episodes of Gintama to where we have a character trait from a character we've known for a very long time play a huge role in an episode. So Kondo, as we know, he's always had this gorilla trait added to his character since the beginning of the series, and he's always had this stalker trait as well. And normally when you see a Kondo episode, you think of, a stalker. Like, he's probably going to act like a stalker and it's going to be a comedy episode. That's normally what you come to expect from Kondo episodes. But when you sit down and watch this episode, you're in for a ride, because it's quite the delight watching this episode and seeing Kondo in a different light than normal. The first half of the episode was what I usually expect from a Kondo episode. It was comedy, it was very funny, getting to see it where we were introduced to, like, the main person of this episode, the ape man, or the thief, and seeing how to where Kondo is growing connected. There was a misunderstanding where Kondo was throwing rocks at Hichikata, and then giving black eyes, and then that funny moment where Hichikata is like, "You're undercover, right? You're undercover, right?" That was a great moment. Very funny comedy, and I laughed my ass off. But then, after we're done with the first half of the episode, we get into the real serious moments that drive the episode and what really hit home for me. Seeing how this episode was done, it gives me a whole new perspective of Kondo, and it allows me to appreciate him and enjoy him so much more. Seeing him, how he was in the past, for instance, how he was a child and what he did for his sensei of attacking these loan sharks and trying to get the deed to the temple back while saving the children. It was a great moment. It was a great scene in this episode, and seeing what Kondo was like as a kid instead of what we see now of him being like a crazy gorilla. But then it wasn't just that. The way the gorilla trait was used, or the ape trait was used in this episode, it was ingenious by the writer, because we come to find out what type of school Kondo went to. He went to this school that kind of was an ape school. Like, it had to where they worship this ape god like Asaru, and seeing how the sensei eventually turned to being a thief, and he was throwing out bananas and paying the temple in his spare time. Nobody knew he was giving the money, but he was doing that with his own hard work, or stealing. It was a great way to show kind of where Kondo came from. But then, what really got me was seeing how the ending scene of the episode was done when the sensei was passing away in front of Kondo. I sensed that the man was probably going to die, the way the episode was done. I figured the episode would have lasted a lot longer, actually. Like, I figured this would have turned into an arc, like, 2 to 3 episode arc, but it wasn't. It actually was settled in one episode, which I need to compliment Gintama for being able to accomplish something like that, because not many manga, anime, literature, or live television shows or movies can accomplish such a feat in a short amount of time, to where you can grow close to a character in under a couple of minutes, and then you can feel bad for this character's passing when they do pass in a couple minutes after you meet them. And that's what this episode did. We were introduced to this character that was there to give progression to Kondo and allow him to continue walking forward as a person. And that is what we got. So let's look at the scene of the passing of the sensei. So the sensei, after he was beat and he was on death's door, he lays back in the back alleyway and he has blood, coming down his face. His eyes are closed, he says he can't really see, and then Kondo, he's supposed to arrest his sensei because his sensei was stealing. Even though his sensei is a good person, he was still stealing, so it was a crime. So Kondo goes to him, and the sensei's like, "I want you to handcuff me. I want you to handcuff me, and because I deserve it, even though, you're a good person, and, maybe what I was doing wasn't really a bad thing, I still was stealing, and it was wrong, morally wrong." So, seeing how that was done, and then how he was asking, like, "Please do that for me before I'd rather be handcuffed by you than anyone else," it was a great way to handle the episode. But then, when you see to where Kondo starts talking to him, and then the sensei talks back, and he's like, "I knew you wouldn't be able to be like a thief or that, because you can't steal. The way I taught you, your morals as a human being, you couldn't steal." And to see the way that was done, it goes to show you more insight to Kondo's character, what type of person he is, and how this sensei was such a huge role in Kondo's life of how he is today. And then, when you see it to where Kondo starts talking to his sensei, and how they're somewhat similar, but they have their own different paths, It was like Kondo was giving advice or helping out his sensei, which is very ironic, because when you think about a teacher usually is the one to support the students. The teacher is there to give life lessons, help them out along their journey to where they can get where they can be. And then that's pretty much it. But that wasn't really the case. Kondo was paying back his sensei by coming back to help his sensei before his passing. That right there was fucking beautiful. Fucking beautiful. It was a beautiful way to end that little segment of the episode. And then the best way to end off the episode was seeing how the ending song was done. When you have it to where Hijikata, he looks off to the sunset and he sees in the sky and it looks like he's looking at brighter days. Like, the way I took that ending of the episode when the song started playing and when you see Hijikata look out, I took it as if Hijikata, Kondo, and everybody else were looking at brighter days, like looking towards the future for happier times. And then as soon as that scene was done, which was beautiful, we go into the ending song with the visuals, and we see this dark, gruesome ending song that shows you what we could probably expect from the future. So the way they set up the atmosphere of that, it was like the animators were saying, like, they want happier days, happier times, but that's not gonna happen. That's kind of how the ending song was to me when I watched this episode, because we go from this happy-go-lucky moment to that ending song, you're like, holy shit, the impact of that. So yeah, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about this week's episode of Gintama? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.